Hello, good people. Welcome to our show. Hello, bad people. Welcome to our show. Hello, welcome. Today we are going to discuss more about content marketing. I love this topic. I spend so much time to craft my content to win organic reach in different platforms, video content, text-based, social media, SEO, everywhere, including PR, and it works well. I can save a lot of money if I craft my process myself. Don't pay for agencies. I cooperate with agencies if I can't do something and I need it. So many directions, many things, and today it's very important to be on this game because according to data, if you pay attention to organic reach, you can get revenue 3 times more than with paid marketing. I'm so excited to discuss this topic. Peeps up, Kadish, how are you?
Hey, how's it going? Thanks for having me.
Big pleasure, man. A big pleasure. I want to learn more about SEO, about content marketing, about getting success. I know it's tough today. And I remember I started my journey in 2008, 15 years ago, and that was more simple. I hired a team of writers who wrote about anything. I gave them topics about weight loss, finance, anything, accounting. They wrote, Google ranked, we got results. Today, Google fired all my team. Okay, I fired my team. Google just pushed me to do it. And I search for experts, for real experience, and I cooperate with people who know the topic. I'm so picky on that. I'm so
Yeah,
picky because I know without high quality, without sharing something new, it's tough to win the game. Even if you use ChatGPT, it's tough to craft great content. For example, I tried with accounting. My brothers asked me, please craft great content. I couldn't because I don't know this topic. I can write
exactly.
some generic prompts, nothing special. I can't edit results. But if you ask me to do it about SEO or digital marketing, I can. You don't need to ask me. I always do it because I love this game. Zach, before we
Yeah,
start, just tell more about yourself, experience, background, and anything that can help our listeners to learn more about you.
yeah, absolutely. So my name's Zach Kadish. I'm a manager of the SEO customer success team here at Conductor in New York City. I live in New York as well. I've been at the company for a little over 8 years, and I'm really excited to talk a little bit more around SEO content and kind of the evolution that we're going to see now with the rise of search generative experience coming to Google soon.
Yeah, nice, nice. I think it's important to consider search generative experience, and I think it will be a game changer. It's my opinion. I know
Yeah,
when people can share that SEO is never will be dead. I disagree. I completely disagree. Everything has the end, including SEO. And according to data, let's check data. I love numbers. Uh, 12% of people search on AI bots. 12%
wow.
of people. So ChatGPT appealed plus year ago, and today 12% of people use chatbots to find answers, including me. For example, when I decided to buy a new Tesla in Florida, I asked one simple question on Google: Can I use self-drivers feature autopilot in Florida because each state has different law, and I couldn't find answer for my simple question. A lot
Yeah.
of information, a lot of content. What is Tesla? Why Tesla can save this world? Why it's important to think about electricity, something like this. But I. I just needed simple answer to my question, and I
Yeah.
asked on Chat GPT and got this answer for a few seconds. I think everyone who needs a simple answer will ask on ChatGPT more specific answer because it's tough to search in long content and find the answer.
Yeah.
So for me, it's a game changer. Zach, tell your prediction about the future. About you mentioned about SGE. What is the beast if someone doesn't know about this, and how to optimize for this feature?
Yeah, absolutely. So, just taking a step back, search generative experience is, Google's early step into, releasing generative AI within the search experience. And they've kind of, gone all in on this type of experience where it's actually consolidating a lot of different resources directly within the SERP or the search engine result page. So, it's almost like a very informed or expanded answer box now that actually consolidates multiple sources. And, I feel it's very similar to what you kind of said, where you got really simple answers from ChatGPT that wasn't always possible on Google. And they noticed, people are going to start going to these AI tools to get more answers, especially if it's, just an informational type question. They don't really need to do too much. They don't want to do too much research around it. I mean, I don't know if you've opted into, SGE, or if any of, your viewers have either, but some answers are really good already. You can type in very long tail, type queries, very stream of consciousness, conversational type stuff, and get a really good answer back. So this is definitely Google's way to kind of compete with these AI tools to make sure that they're not going to steal their market share, because, Google has that, 90% market share right now, at least in the United States, in terms of search. So they're really trying to protect that moving forward.
Yeah, and I'm interested about blog content more, and the main reason because I spend a lot of time to craft blog posts, to write them, and I'm interested because I remember when feature snippets appealed, many content creators complained that Google can steal our content, but Google at least links to our content. I
Yes.
think we will get the time when people will miss feature snippets when Google just linked and AI bots just steal without even reference to our content. So your
Yeah.
prediction about blog content.
No, yeah, it's definitely scary, especially for these content creators. People are nervous that, their traffic is going to decrease significantly. People aren't going to have to click on their content and then convert or sign up for whatever their, type of call to action they have on their blog or on their site. I think it's still an unknown in a sense, because, it is still an experiment. I'm happy that Google is sourcing the content that they're referencing in these search generative, snippets. So I still think that people will eventually go to the sites, but it depends on the type of search. There might be more 0-click searches where people just want to get a quick answer and then they leave. But, down the road, they'll come back. They'll remember where they learned that. They might go directly to your site. They might search that again. So I think there still is hope for people who are content creators and blog writers to, get people to their site. But it is definitely interesting to see. And, I do expect there's going to be a decrease in these early stage informational queries. There's going to be a decrease in traffic, and, there's going to be a decrease in clicks to your site.
Yeah. And, my opinion about that, we can adapt. Whatever happens, we can adapt. Digital, I remember when marketers on TV and radio, they didn't lose their jobs. They adapted to digital. Forbes, New York Times appealed before digital. Today they adapted to digital, and I think it's important today to think about creating strong brand awareness. So if you have strong brand recognition, Forbes can get traffic in different various directions, not only about SEO. And if chatbots can steal our content, probably I don't want to predict, but probably most content creators will disallow to scan their content if they can't get any benefits. So Google or any other new systems need to consider content creators. And anyway, e-commerce marketing will work at any environment because okay, if you can win with blog content, you can film short videos. And it's interesting about SEO. I don't think that SEO teaches how to rank on Google. Of course, SEO teaches about that, but I mean, SEO can teach how to create high quality content, how to get authoritative, relevant backlinks that will build your brand awareness, that will get you authority. If you play white hat SEO, even to, for example, we use PR in our link building strategy. We got mentions on CNN, Bloomberg, Dow Jones, CoinDesk, investing.com, big websites. And most of them don't link to our content. They just mention us, and authority is high. I don't care if I get mentioned on CNN. I just want to get it. Zach, can you tell?
The link.
Yeah, you mentioned your agency is in New York. Can you tell why your agency is better than others. I mean, like, we are marketers. We always learn strong sides. We need to know benefits. And I'm interested, I think my audience as well, uh, why you are better. What is your strong side? How you can help more and better to your customers?
Yeah, absolutely. So, here at Conductor, we do have a software that helps us monitor, your keywords, your traffic, and then also do research to really get that competitive intelligence and understand the customer's voice. So, it is, that type of enterprise platform that's really able to not only understand, how your site's doing, but then you can actually, make improvements to it to better understand what you can actually do to rank better or what you can do to be found more. We also have, a crawling technology called Content King that crawls your site 24/7. So it's really that solid foundation to make sure that there's no issues that occur on your site before search engines or before, even other users notice these technical errors and then can't actually access your content. So it's really that all-in-one suite that really allows you to better make sure that, your content's in a good place, your technical SEO is in a good place. And then we also obviously have services that help with, making sure that all these things are working well together. But, I think it's kind of what you mentioned before, it is scary when Google releases all these things, but as long as we're creating that high quality content that, matches the heart and the soul of the user, we're going to rank, we're going to show up, and we're going to be, sourced, or someone's going to find our content, whether it's, direct on Google or whether it's through some other publisher that's linking to us because they liked our content and they thought it was high quality.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk more about other publishers linked to us, about link building or PR. Can you tell your methods, how you do it, and how you deserve or earn these backlinks or mentions to your websites?
Yeah, great question. Honestly, I'm a big believer that if you write high quality content, the links are gonna come naturally. That's really my methodology between when thinking about linking. It's really, if we're writing good content that users and other people out there enjoy, that it's relevant, that's answering their questions and solving their needs and helping them with problems, someone else is gonna find it. Someone else is gonna link to us because of that, and that's why it's also important. But I do notice now that with SGE and there are a lot of other, I guess, mediums or types of content that are starting to show up. We see a lot of Quora, a lot of Reddit. So I do think it's important to kind of build up your brand awareness in these other social channels. It's not just always about organic and writing that content anymore. We do now have to be maybe a little bit more proactive in terms of just reaching out to different communities in the social space to make sure that we are being found. And, it could just be interacting with them. But as long as you're building up that brand awareness, people are going to find your content and link to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think it's a good point if you create link-worthy content. I mean, like, if you give a strong reason to link to your content, I mean, like static pages or simple tools, I don't know, because I use a lot of strategy, but I can't win this game without PR. So I add PR and
That's fair.
yeah, and let me share how I use PR. When I started my PR campaigns, I decided to increase my strength with link building. I learned a lot from Ferry Kazoni and other great experts how to do it PR. And, I paid for one press release $6,000. PR agency wrote press release, distributed them, and I counted. I need to pitch 12 press releases a week. It's really good money.
That's
And
good.
it's more than $3 million.
Wow.
A year. So what I did, I decided to craft the process myself. I wrote a bunch of press releases. I pitched all of them. I failed 100%. No, zero mentions, zero links, nothing. Then, but I learned
That's
how it
awesome.
works. Yeah, I hired specialists. By the way, even in PR agencies, I found they usually write press releases themselves. For example, if I give them topics about trading or investing, they don't hire specialists in trading and investing niche. They search for trading topics, think how to provide value for journalists, but I can't say experts can write these topics. It's more about news-related topics to
Yeah.
leave some simple opinion, not expert opinion. So what we did, we have a team of writers who write for our blogs. They write for Forbes, Investopedia, big websites, and I tell them, look at. We need to write press releases, and they wrote press releases just to consider the format, bullet points, the length around 500 words to leave an expert opinion. And then I learned about tools, how to pitch all these press releases, and we got mentions CNN. We got mentions on Bloomberg, many big websites. One press release earned plus 55 mentions, a lot.
Wow.
I stopped counting them. CoinDesk, investing.com, and
Yeah.
we got it. You can craft any process yourself. So, and it can help to increase authority to get results. By the way, Zach, I want to ask about mentions. For me, it's tough to get link from CNN, but when they mention my content, I'm happy to. So tell, what do you think about mentions? If you get mentions from big resources, how it can help you? Because everyone thinks about do follow links, but what do you think about today?
No, yeah, I mean, absolutely. If you're getting sourced by one of those very authoritative, websites like a CNN or like even like a .edu or .org, that's gonna, really help in terms of Google also noticing that you are authoritative around that topic. So that will absolutely help. Just you show up better within the SERPs, because if someone else is sourcing to you, that's another signal to Google that you know what you're talking about. And I think even like more important than that is also when we create this quality content, we do need to make sure that someone who is an expert, who has authority, is writing our content. I also think that it's really important to now start adding authorship or author pages on your site, reviewed by on your site if it's relevant, just because that really shows Google, hey, you know what you're talking about. You're an expert within this field, and we're going to trust that the content that you're writing can actually help the users that are searching for this topic. So I do really believe that authorship is going to be, more at the forefront and almost like a necessity versus a nice to have moving forward, just because authority has always been important to Google, and they're not backing away from it.
Yeah, love it. Zach, I want to ask about one topic that it's tough to ignore today, about AI. And Jeff Coyle said on my podcast, he's co-founder of Market Muse, that in the future we will have 3 companies. The first company will develop AI. The second company will implement AI. And the third company will be obsolete. Who can leave the trade, can't compete with others. According to data, I love numbers. 5% of content creators, marketers lost their jobs when ChatGPT appealed. It's terrible, but I don't think that these people lost jobs because of AI. They lost because someone adapted to AI and can replace them. Because I grew my results with AI. I got a lot of results. By the way, I wrote an article on search engine on LinkedIn. Yeah, this article on LinkedIn. And let me share my screen just for a few seconds. About how I got results with AI. Oh. Yeah, I think you can see now.
Yep.
And look at we promote this website from scratch, from zero, and in investing and trading niche, and we use a lot AI content. Today we get around more than 2,000 people a day in a very competitive niche. And when I share about this case study, someone can tell me, Google can drop your ranking positions. No, let me explain why. Because I use AI to create high quality content. I don't use AI to create content at scale. If I don't feel the quality, then I stop creating this content. So AI can help to craft high quality content, and this project is growing and growing fast. So I think AI is a powerful tool if you use it smart. Can you tell Zach how to use AI to get such results?
No, absolutely. Like I think, and it's interesting because Google has even said in their guidelines, like we don't care if you're using AI for content creation. We actually think it can be a great tool for creativity, to be more efficient, to help with the process. They just want to make sure that someone else, like a human, is reviewing it. There's been many sites out there like CNET or Sports Illustrated that have written content
Yeah.
at scale with all AI. They like made up AI like people who like profiles too. Like we shouldn't do that, but I don't see any issues in using ChatGPT or these other AI tools to like actually help with their content creation process. Here at Conductor, we actually have started to integrate AI within our platform to help with this exactly because we know that it's kind of like what you said. AI is not going to replace every position, but the people who use AI, they're going to replace others. They're going to exceed in their, whatever position they are. Let's take content marketing for this instance. It can be more efficient with content creation or content outlines or generating title tags or descriptions or just reframing your tone of voice. But we do want to make sure that you are, checking it over, making sure it's quality and making sure that, there's not these AI hallucinations or, things that aren't actually correct in there.
Yeah, nice, nice. And can you tell how you adapt AI today after ChatGPT appealed? I mean, like, do you spend, for example, I speak with ChatGPT more often than with my wife. I like to ask this question because ChatGPT can reply to these questions. I love my wife, but I like to speak with ChatGPT too because he is smart tool, can help me a
Yeah.
lot. So tell how you adapt AI in your process.
Yeah, I mean, I've used it honestly for so many different things. I mean, I used it for, helping with content creation or just, being more efficient there. I've also helped it with like a lot of aspects of technical SEO, like I didn't always know how to write regular expressions or, more advanced Excel or Google Sheet formulas. ChatGPT is a lifesaver here. Before you had to kind of, scour through the web and find the exact thing that matched your instance. Now it actually is very specific. If you give it enough good prompts, you can get the answer right away. So it's made my life a lot more efficient with, data analysis, with visualizations, with, even like image creation. There's so many cool things you can do with it. And it's obviously only the beginning of it. So there's definitely a lot more advancements that I'm excited to see.
Yeah, nice, nice. Zach, I think Conductor has a lot of competitors, big companies. Tell about your benefits or strong side, why you can provide something better than your competitors, or you can list specific tools that will lead customers in a great direction.
No, absolutely. I mean, as SEOs, I feel like a lot of people are using, a variety of different smaller tools. There's, Chrome extensions, there's, other aspects of these like these smaller research tools. We really at Conductor have an all-in-one suite that allows you to do everything in one platform. And, it's not just always for SEOs. You can have your web development team in there. You can have your content marketing team. You can have your brand and product team. So I think that's really the biggest aspect of it. It's not only a one-stop shop for doing research, analyzing competitors, monitoring your technical issues, but it's also really there to help collaborate. And you can all work together in the same space. So it makes it a lot more intuitive. And it kind of breaks down those silos because, that's one of the biggest things when you deal with companies that have, multiple departments. Not everyone's always focused or dedicated to SEO. This kind of breaks down those silos and everyone can see how they're working towards the same goal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, nice, nice. Love it, love it. Zach, uh, I like to speak about mistakes because in my life, I made a lot of mistakes, terrible mistakes, slight mistakes. I keep doing them because I don't know how to go ahead without doing mistakes. I mentioned that I started to adapt with PR, to make mistakes, but it's learning process. I don't know how to go ahead without making mistakes because you can read all best practices, generic strategies, but you need to make your hands dirty. When you make your hands dirty, you can learn from experience. So,
Yeah.
Zach, can you list mistakes that we can avoid. I mean, like digital marketers. If you know from your experience that companies, people still do some mistakes, but just let us know what we can avoid in the process.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think that's a good point. You can read all the theories and the best practices, but you really need to kind of experiment and try things out and make sure that you're accomplishing or trying things out on your site to see what you can accomplish or not. Something that I've consistently seen as maybe a larger mistake, whether it's at digital marketing companies or, smaller companies, is kind of like keyword cannibalization, where people are writing the same topic over and over and over, but just in a little different way. And I understand, if that's what you're relevant around, you want to talk about it, but it honestly hinders their own site. They end up not ranking well because Google is confused about which content to show the user, and they don't show any of their content in the end of the day. So that's something that I've consistently noticed. Small, large, medium companies across the board, there's tons of cannibalization, and that's definitely, it's an issue, but we'll see what happens with SGE and if it gets a little smarter and finds the right piece of content. But I've seen that, consistently, where people aren't having a cohesive content strategy and they just write the same thing over and over, and it hurts themselves.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I want to speak more about keywords, because I see when companies use or choose high volume keywords, but in my experience, it's not good idea. For example, if I take keyword SEO, I need to compete with Neil Patel, Moz, Google itself, big authoritative websites that deserve these ranking positions, that have a lot of authority. And when SMB compete with big brands, it's not good idea. And I know from personal experience, when we help trading investing websites to get ranking positions, I usually tell, we don't need to compete with these big billion-dollar companies. Okay, we can create better content, but who knows if it's better or not? People need authority. People trust these websites. So we need to find another way. Can you tell how to choose these keywords? I mean, like, okay, if I have a list of keywords, let's imagine weight loss. Yeah, and some companies want to promote weight loss supplements. How to choose the right keywords from the list of million keywords, if you can find at any tool.
Yeah. Now, keyword research is like the bread and butter of content marketing. It's the bread and butter of SEO. It's like, really where we all start out in. And sometimes it's hard. It's hard to figure out the right phrase to target for the right audience. Something that I think is really important is that user intent and that competitive intent. We want to make sure that the search intent of our keyword is correct. So, really not before you pick a keyword and go all in on it, see who else is ranking for it. Are these your direct competitors? Are they your organic SEO competitors? Do we have the ability to show up here? And then once we figure that out and we know, hey, this is the right one for us, make sure that we're also writing that content in the right medium that Google wants to surface. If it's video content, maybe we have to add a little, video content to our article, or, create a video around it. But I think it's really important to do that competitive analysis to figure out the search intent. Then obviously make sure you're not cannibalizing yourself. You don't have content out there that's already ranking for this phrase. And then making sure that when we create that content, we use those semantically related keywords or those relevant keywords that other users or Google might also associate with our topic. That way we're really, covering all our bases to make sure that the content is surfaced in the right way. And also any user who searches for our topic, broad or relevant at all, can find it.
Yeah. And can you tell how to choose priorities? I mean, like, okay, if I have a lot of keywords, I group them, cluster to specific groups. By the way, you can tell how to group as well, because it's interesting question from my audience as well. But how to choose the right group of keywords? I mean, like, if you have million keywords, but all companies have limited resources. Even big companies, I cooperate with big companies, they can tell, I have 1, 2 writers in my team. What? You get 100 million revenue, but a few writers. Okay, let's stick with that. So I think even big companies, including HubSpot, for example, on HubSpot, we can see only 1 article a day. Many other big companies post a few articles a week. So because everyone thinks about high quality content. And if we need to write only high quality content, we need to choose priorities from this huge list of keywords. So let us know how to find these keywords.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of ways to prioritize. Like taking a step back and talking about the grouping of it, there's a variety of different ways you could group your keywords, by brand, by non-brand. You could group it by intent, like early stage, comparative, late stage. You could group it by your products, your service lines. You could group it by, a type of, keyword that you want to go after. If it has similar nomenclatures, and you can combine a whole bunch of different rules there. So that's one of the ways to kind of group it if you're doing that analysis. In terms of priorities, something that I always recommend to companies is like, what is your business focusing on? What's an area that is, maybe underperforming, that's like, that the CEO is talking about, that's, if you're a public company, or like what's being like talked about in the earnings, or if you're a small business, what's your bread and butter? What's something that you want to focus on? That's one of the best ways to prioritize, because that obviously, if you're creating content around something that your business cares about, that's important to your company, and that can reap rewards down the road in terms of revenue. Other areas that I recommend in terms of priorities is like, where are we not visible that our competitors are? We always want to make sure that we're answering questions that we are knowledgeable around. So if our competitors are doing that, users are going to go to them instead of us. So, focus on what your business cares about, focus where there's opportunity and your competitors are talking about things that you're not. And then, finally, we can take a look at other aspects in terms of, search volume or rank. And that could be another way to kind of prioritize what type of content we're creating or when we're creating content.
Nice. Love it. Zach, I want to ask about sales funnel. I remember when I spoke with one webmaster who lost 400,000 traffic, but he didn't lose any sales. So basically Google dropped his ranking positions, but sales were the same. So, and what he learned from that, if you get traffic, it doesn't mean you can sell your products. We need to consider sales funnel, user intent, and you mentioned about user intent, but I want to know how to choose keywords that will sell your products, that you can put in your sales funnel.
No, absolutely. And that is a really interesting use case because, in that instance, there are a lot of times when people create content just merely as a traffic play. They might have created content for very high volume keywords that a lot of people might be searching around and finding, but that could be unqualified traffic. That could be traffic that actually is never going to convert. What I like to focus on in terms of like priorities or user intent is really making sure that we pick long tail keywords that are relevant to our audience. I don't honestly always care about search volume. I think it's more of a directional metric. I don't care if, there's 100, 1,000, 10 people searching for the keyword I pick. If it's the most relevant thing for us, that's something that I'm going to, write content around. And I think there's going to be a rise of these long tail queries in the future. Before search generative experience, there was already like 50% of, people searching long tail queries. I think this is going to rise considerably in the future, where it's going to be a majority of people are typing long tail phrases in because they're getting really good responses back. And that's really where I think we should focus when we're trying to, either get people down the funnel, because the longer the keyword you type in, the more you know what you want. So it makes sense that people are going to click on your content, and that's really what we should be focusing on.
Yeah, it's a good idea. And I usually check traffic value, not just volume, because volume for me is almost nothing. And I remember, for example, even on social media, if I get 1 million views and 0 sales, I'm not sure that I need to have these views. But if I get a few hundred views and a few sales, so yeah, I like it a lot more. So when I can sell. And Zach, I have a lot of questions to you. Many great questions. But I think everyone who want to learn from Zach, they can follow on social media. I leave all common links in the description to this podcast. And Zach, I want to ask a few specific questions about your personal experience. What I found that I usually get good results with customers who understand what I do. So if they understand why we need to use PR, why we need to craft high quality content, why SEO is more about traffic value than getting more traffic. So when we understand each other, we can get great results, and we we grow our results with customers who understand SEO, who understand it's a long game. But you can win this game if you have passion, if you wanna spend more time to sacrifice your hobbies, to think about that, if you hire the right people. So it's possible to win this game because competition is huge, extremely competitive. But I found if customers don't understand, I usually tell them, take my course, learn on YouTube, learn on Google, listen
Yeah.
podcast. I don't care how. I care that you understand the basic. If you don't understand, nobody can decide your problems. If someone wants to lose weight, you can find the best coach, the best nutrition. But if you don't understand why you need to eat healthy food, to train hard, to drink water, you can't achieve results. Nobody can decide your problems. You want to learn foreign language? Okay, you can find great tutors, but you need to know why you want to learn this language. You need to
Yep.
understand, to spend time, to sacrifice your time. So basically, I usually check the level of skills of my customers and tell them, okay, you need to learn, then we can go ahead. You need to understand the basic. And I have students in my network who are looking for ways to learn from scratch, especially today when we have AI. Let's imagine you started today from scratch without any experience, knowledge, skills. It's your first day in SEO. Forget about your skills. Google exists. You use Google, but you have no idea how it ranks. So what will you do if you started from scratch?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think, first off, you need to have that passion. You need to have that desire. You need to want to learn or want to, grow within the field. That's definitely the first step. And then, I think it's kind of similar to what you were saying before. You need to do your research. You need to, sign up or read search engine publications, like go to, all these different publications, sign up for their newsletters, absorb things that are going on in the industry. I would also recommend to, join different communities, whether that's Slack communities, Reddit, follow people on Twitter or LinkedIn. Those are the people that are going to be updating you on things that are happening fresh within the industry, so you can actually better understand what's happening. There's tests out there and like that you can take on like LinkedIn Learning or Coursera. That's all good and nice, but you also kind of have to get your hands dirty too to kind of experiment to see what works or what doesn't. That's one of the best ways that I learned is, I just read a lot of information. I watched all these videos. I listened to what people were doing with their actual companies so that when I had clients or when I was trying it out on my own, I had a good, grasp on what to kind of do. And then I could kind of evolve it from there. So, you got to stay in tune with the community. And you also need to kind of make sure that, you're finding all these good resources out there from the search engine publications and learning from people who have already done these things for many years.
Nice. Yeah. A good tip. And I agree. You need to also act, like Leo Messi or Michael Jordan. These guys prefer to play with ball than learn how to play basketball or soccer. Michael Jordan can spend a lot of time in the court. Leo Messi can hit the ball 1,000 times a day because you can learn, but learning only opens the door where you need to go with practice, with act. And personally, I sacrifice my learning because of acting. I can't learn a teeny % of new publications, of new articles, videos, podcasts, because I have no time to learn all this stuff. But I know for me, it's more important to practice, to act, then results will come. And Zach, my final question about the future. I want to ask you, take your crystal ball, let us know what kind of future will be in digital marketing or content marketing.
Yeah, no, I think that's a great question. And honestly, I think moving forward, especially with the rise of AI and search generative experience, that people are going to start like not focusing as much on keyword rankings and, showing up on search. And it's going to be more about the entire digital presence and having that real estate everywhere. So it's not just going to be organic or paid by itself. All these channels are going to be really working together, social, paid, organic, all of them are going to have to, be in tuned with each other and collaborating with each other, because in the end of the day, it doesn't really matter how people get to your site as long as they're landing on it. So I really think it's important to, instead of focusing so much on rankings, focus on your real estate on the SERPs and how much you are showing up versus your competitors.
Nice. Love it. Zach, it's a big pleasure to get on my show, to learn from you. I love this experience. So fun, valuable. I'm going to follow you on social media because I need more value. I love value. I need to update skills that I have. I'm a student on this life, so I need to spend more time to craft my skills. Tell the best way how to keep learning from you, how to reach out to you, how to follow you.
Yeah, absolutely. Follow me on LinkedIn, Zach Kadish. That's where I post some of the articles that I write for search engine publications or just share my thoughts. So definitely happy to connect with anyone there.
Nice, guys. You can find link to LinkedIn account in the description below. Listen us on Apple, Google, Spotify. Thanks again for your time. Love it. So valuable. Welcome back anytime to share more valuable insights. I'm going to follow you guys. You need to follow. It's a big mistake if you don't follow Zach because you can see a lot of value. Okay, guys. Love you. See you.
Appreciate it.